hair and makeup on dead people. It was the ad in the paper. And I'm a licensed beautician as well.
Today we will be looking at some of the crazy jobs that Black celebrities had before fame. Many of these will shock you.
What's lunchtime? What time
5
is
to
it?
6.
A whole hour for lunch? When I was working 9 to 5s, I remember I used to be lucky if I had 30 minutes. When I was a waitress, I was on my feet for 12 hours a day, and we had 15 minutes. We had to steal the bread and eat that. Because on a busy day, you can't stop to eat. You can't stop. Can I take your water? Actually, no. I have to approach the table a certain way. Welcome to Red Lobster. My name is Onika. May I take your order? No. Welcome to Red Lobster. My name is Onika. Our fresh fish of the day, our drink of the day is the Sunset Passion Colada. How can I help you and your lovely girlfriend? And then the people like, you got bread?
Before becoming a global rap icon, Nicki Minaj worked as a waitress at Red Lobster in New York. Known for her bold personality, she was eventually fired after confronting a customer for a surprising reason that would surprise you. An early glimpse of the fiery attitude that would define her music career. Born in Trinidad and raised in Queens, Nicki held several customer service jobs while chasing her dream of stardom. At the time, Red Lobster employees typically earned around $15 to $20 per hour with tips, depending on location and role. So why did she get fired? Hear it from the horse's mouth.
So that day, I guess I was just a little bit frustrated because this lady came in with her boyfriend, I guess, and they were being like, I don't know, I guess annoying. So, but they needed my pen to sign the credit card slip. But I went back to the table, and not only did they not leave me a tip, but they took my pen. So that set me off for some reason that day. It was just one of those days, and I knew I should not have done this. I still can't believe I did it. I really needed the job, but I ran outside into the parking lot. So I banged on the window, "Give me my pen!" And I literally banged on their window hard enough to break it. So they were like, "What the heck?" And I went back in the restaurant, and they told on me, and I got fired.
Despite the setbacks, Nicki never gave up. Her persistence paid off when her mixtapes caught the attention of Lil Wayne, launching her into superstardom. Today, she's one of the best-selling female rappers in history, proving that humble beginnings don't define your future. Denzel Washington. Before rising to Hollywood stardom, Denzel Washington worked as a mailman in Mount Vernon, New York, earning just $3.75 an hour, walking door to door 6 days a week. He later took a job as a garbage collector, which he said was surprisingly easy, only 3 days a week, but paid well at around $8 an hour. At the time, that income was enough to live comfortably, and Denzel even joked that if he hadn't pursued acting, he could have stuck with sanitation work for life. These early jobs grounded him and gave him a strong work ethic that would later define his legendary career. And despite going on to make hundreds of millions of dollars throughout his acting career, Denzel has always maintained a respect for blue-collar jobs.
Just going back and looking at your lives before you became filmmakers, what was your first job or what was your worst job that you had before you entered the film business?
I was a garbage man, like Troy. Garbage man, you get 3 hours, you get 8 hours worth of work, but you can do it in 3. So you can go home as soon as you finish. Post office, you get 3 hours worth of work and you make it last 8. I did both. I like being a garbage man better. But they weren't bad jobs. It's like, people say, oh, the difficulty of making a movie. I'm like, send your son to Iraq. That's difficult. It's just a movie. It's like, relax. I don't play that precious nonsense. Oh, we're moving over. Get out of here. Your son got shot in the face. That's difficult. Making a movie is a luxury. It's a gift. It's an opportunity, and most importantly, it's a gift. Obviously, everybody here is talented enough to do that, but don't get it twisted. It's just a movie. It ain't that big a deal.
Steve Harvey, before becoming a comedy icon and TV powerhouse, Steve Harvey held several tough, low-paying jobs. He worked as a carpet cleaner, earning around $5 an hour, and took on roles like mailman and insurance salesman, which paid roughly $200 to $400 a week back in the late 1970s and early 80s. When he pursued stand-up comedy full-time, he faced serious hardship, living out of his 1976 Ford Tempo for 3 years because he couldn't afford a place to stay. He survived on gigs that paid as little as $50 a night, often using public bathrooms to wash up before going on stage.
She took me to the comedy club. I signed up. I went up last. They had a clap off. I won amateur night. They paid me $50. I went to work the next day, October 9th, quit my job. That was it. That was it. I have done nothing since October 9th, 1985, but tell jokes.
Despite the struggle, Harvey never gave up. And those humble beginnings fueled the work ethic that eventually made him one of the most successful entertainers in the industry, Tyler Perry. Before becoming a billionaire filmmaker and media mogul, Tyler Perry struggled for years trying to break into the entertainment industry. In his early days, he worked a variety of jobs, including as a used car salesman, bill collector, and even security guard, earning around $300 to $400 a week. But his real passion was writing and producing plays. He poured all his savings, about $12,000, into his first stage production, which completely flopped and left him broke. For a period, Perry was homeless, living out of his car while continuing to write and stage shows in small venues. It wasn't until years later that one of his plays finally took off, launching the beloved character Medea and setting him on the path to building an entertainment empire.
You gotta go back, be reminded where you come from. Thank you.
In a heartfelt Instagram post, Tyler Perry shared a photo of himself sitting in a royal blue Geo Metro, the same model of car he once lived in during his early struggles. He explained that he keeps this car as a reminder of the challenging times he faced while pursuing his dreams. Taraji P. Henson. Before becoming one of Hollywood's most versatile and acclaimed actresses, Taraji P. Henson was just a determined college student hustling to make ends meet. While studying theater at Howard University, she worked 2 jobs. By day, she was a secretary at the Pentagon, and by night, she performed as a singing and dancing waitress aboard the Spirit of Washington, a dinner cruise ship. Though her exact pay isn't publicly known, cruise entertainers at the time often earned around $100 to $200 per night, depending on tips and performance hours.
You know, coming from the Washington, D.C. area, most of my family worked for the government.
Okay.
So that's how I got my job
Oh, so you
in
actually
college.
grew up there, didn't you? Just, okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Washington, D.C. So that's how I got, my stepmom got me the job in the Pentagon.
Oh.
See, back in the day, kids had jobs. That's why they weren't, like, killing each other. We actually had jobs, and our government looked out for us because I was actually in a stay-in-school program. So as long as I was in school full-time, I could work 20 hours a week.
Despite being a single mother and juggling multiple responsibilities, Taraji never gave up on her dream. She eventually moved to Los Angeles and broke through with her role in Baby Boy, later earning an Oscar nomination for The Curious Case of Benjamin Button and widespread fame for her portrayal of Cookie Lion in Empire. From cruise ships to red carpets, Taraji's journey is the ultimate story of grit, grace, and undeniable talent. Whoopi Goldberg. Before becoming an EGOT-winning icon, Whoopi Goldberg held some of the most unexpected jobs in her early years. Long before The Color Purple or Sister Act, she worked as a bricklayer, earning around $150 to $200 a week, a rare job for a woman at the time. She also took on work as a morgue beautician, applying makeup to the deceased, an experience she's spoken about with a mix of humor and respect.
Hair and makeup on dead people. It was the ad in the paper. And I'm a licensed beautician as well, because I went to beauty school. It's a rough gig, I think. You have to be a certain kind of person, and you have to love people in order to make them worthy of a great send-off.
These gritty, offbeat jobs helped her survive as she pursued her passion for performing. Eventually, she found her voice in stand-up comedy and one-woman shows, which led to her breakthrough role in The Color Purple and a historic career that includes an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award. Whoopi's rise is proof that no job is too strange or too humble on the road to greatness. Samuel L. Jackson. Before becoming one of the most recognizable voices and faces in Hollywood, Samuel L. Jackson held down regular jobs while grinding his way through the early days of acting. After graduating from Morehouse College, he worked as a social worker in Los Angeles, earning about $250 to $300 a week, helping people navigate tough life situations. He also took side gigs as an usher at funerals and theaters just to stay afloat financially. During this time, Jackson was also heavily involved in the civil rights movement, even standing guard at Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral. His acting career started slowly with stage performances and small film roles, but his persistence paid off. Everything changed when he landed breakout roles in Jungle Fever and Pulp Fiction, launching a legendary career. From social work to superstardom, Jackson's journey is all about resilience, growth, and mastering the long game.
Samuel, apparently you have recently lost your title as the highest grossing actor of all time.
Yeah. I've been displaced.
By?
Harrison Ford, again. I displaced him, he displaced me, but hey, it's only 70 mil.
Yeah. That's like a weekend.
I got him covered in July.
Which one of the celebrity jobs surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments section.